How's it going? Caitlin here, and welcome to my kitchen for another week of meal prep. I hope you're excited for this week. Now, this is the week after Thanksgiving for me. So you may find that if it's after your Thanksgiving dinner, you might have to do no prep. You might have to do very little prep, and if you have a lot of leftovers, they're going to be incorporated into this meal plan. So you may just be able to look at the prep list, go check, 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 and you are good to go for a few days. And this is what it is meant for. You just made a huge dinner. You should be good to go for a little while, but we want to change it up a little, you know, give a little variety for the week. So let's go ahead with this, shall we? Grab your prep list. If you don't have one, check the description in the video here and you'll find a link to get your prep list and all of the recipes for this week. So if you need to do that, go ahead, get that now, pause, and then come back. If not, then we're gonna go ahead. We've got 3 different levels of prep here depending on your level of motivation today. So if you have very little motivation, you can do very little prep and you're gonna feel so far ahead of the game. I promise you, it will become a new passion for you. It is just one of those things that's just kind of addictive once you see how lovable it is. Now, what are we having this week? So we're gonna start with a turkey dinner skillet to start the week. A nice 1-pot meal. Then we're gonna have turkey cranberry paninis, slow cooker vegetable soup. It's like a turkey dinner leftover soup. I'm gonna do a friend of mine, Jen, her Sheetpan dinner, and we're gonna have barbecue bacon ranch burger bowls to end up the week. So trying to keep things nice, simple, and light for the end of the week and use up our leftovers at the beginning of it while creating variety. I mean, that's just a win-win-win-win-win all around, right? So if you did not have a turkey dinner, you may have more to prep here, but it's okay. If you, if it's the middle of July and you're feeling turkey dinner-esque, like, by all means, I like your style. I am going to put a full turkey breast. I'm gonna put a full turkey breast into my pressure cooker there. And I sometimes do this. I start a lot of the time, okay, I start every time with prep level 3. And why I start with prep level 3 is that it is one of those things that it will do itself while you're doing the other things, and then you gain back time for your week. So if you are planning on being here till the end, or maybe you even just want to do level 1 and level 3, cool, good on you. You can pick and choose. I'm also going to try this because I'm not actually working with turkey dinner leftovers, I'm prepping. I'm going to see if I can prep my mashed potatoes in there in the pressure cooker at the same time as I prep my turkey. This could go really well or it could go horribly. And if it goes well, I'll put it in the prep notes. And if it goes horribly, you can just see this in the video and laugh at me. By the way, we are on meal plan number 40. Number 40, like that's incredible. There are 40 different gluten-free meal plans, all completely different to choose from. And I thank you guys, I really do, because I mean, there wouldn't be much sense in me doing this if you weren't here. I guess I'd like feed my family and stuff, and they find that important, I guess. So what I'm gonna do, because I only need 1 to 2 cups of mashed potatoes to go in my turkey dinner leftover soup, I'm just gonna throw some potatoes in there with the turkey. Seems like a good idea. And I'm just gonna throw a little salt on the meat. That turkey is gonna be enough for me to do my turkey sandwiches, and it's gonna be enough for me to do my turkey dinner skillet. Meat just tastes funny if you don't salt it before you cook it. Do you find? You can salt it after, but it's just not the same. Okay. Throw the lid on there. And turn it to poultry. And just press start. So I figured it was worth a try with the potatoes. If it skips me a step, then it skips me a step. If not, we'll see what happens. That's the fun of being in a kitchen though, right? You can just experiment. All right, like what's taking you so long to get to level 1, woman, for everybody who's not on step 3. And you could cook your turkey in any way you wanted to. You could, if you don't have leftovers, you could bake it in the oven while you're doing this. You know, you could put it in the air fryer. You could chop it up and saute it. I don't know. Do any of the things you want to do with it. We're gonna chop up 2 onions. Like, there are very few rules. Definitely no rules with any of these recipes that I'm doing, because if you're getting into complex recipes, yes, there might be rules. My only rules are cook your chicken till it's 165 at least Fahrenheit, because otherwise you might get salmonella. But like, those are very basic rules. Anything else, you just do what works for you. So I'm gonna give my onion a rough chop, and then I'm gonna use my food chopper. And you don't need a food chopper. You can use a knife. That's okay too. You could use a food processor. You can use whatever tools you have available to you that you like to use. Oh, my goodness. Oh, is this stuff gonna wake you up in the morning, eh? Do you look forward to our weekly cries as much as I do? It's a good release though, good emotional release. Go with that. You know what? At least you do it once now and you're not crying all week long when you have to chop onions every day or every second day. Whew. Ooh, da lolly. Those are some onions. Whew. My goodness. All right. There we go. Good riddance, onions. First container, chopped, locked and loaded, and ready to go. Okay. We are going to peel and chop up 2 carrots. Oh, let me reload my prep dish. I love this prep station, by the way. I'm absolutely obsessed with this prep station. Adore it. It's like having pockets on your cutting board, which might not sound magical, but to be fair, the first time I saw leggings with pockets, I'm like, well, dude, why would I pay extra for pockets on leggings? And then I had pockets on leggings, and I'm like, dude, why would I ever pay for anything other than pockets on leggings? It's the same thing for a cutting board, as it turns out. Especially if meal prep is a thing that you like to do. And I hope it's a thing you like to do, because it saves you time, saves you money, does all of the things, covers all of the bases for things that make it inherently lovable. So I'm gonna give these carrots a rough chop, and then I'm just gonna use the food chopper on them too. Food chopper lets me chop things pretty small. And the nice thing about chopping small is that I can sneak it into my kids. And also into my husband. And I'm not too shy to admit it, like if it's a vegetable I'm not a fan of, I can sneak it into me too. Because if you chop it up small enough, you just don't see it. And for me, a lot of time, it's not so much flavor, it's texture of something that really makes me just like it. And for me, chopping it up small masks the texture too. Okay, so I'm gonna want some celery too, and I just realized I'm gonna want a little more. One sec. It's awful. I look at a recipe sometimes and I'm like, oh yeah, 2 sticks of celery. No, 2 cups of celery. So, just gonna, revisit that right there. Okay. Now I'm just gonna cut off some of the real, I don't know, less desirable parts of the celery. Rough chop the rest, and then I'll use my food chopper to chop it. I'm gonna kind of ish what I think 2 cups might be. And then I'll go from there. Okay, so I do have a 2 cup measure right here. And I do find it really does help quite a bit with my prep personally. If I gather up all my tools in advance, the ones that I think I might need. So like, I know I'm gonna want a good cutting board. I know I'm gonna want a good knife. Also know I'm gonna want a scraper. If I'm doing veggies, I'm gonna want a peeler. Like there's things that you're gonna want. And then I'll grab some things for just in case. It's like, I might want a measuring cup. Sounds like something I might use. I'll grab that too. Because once I get in a groove for something, it's not bad. It's finding that groove. Okay, so we're gonna try that and see how that goes. I'm gonna dump my compost. I like about having pockets is I have one that's for trash, one that's for good things. If any recipe ever has like celery, carrot, and onion together, I know I'm gonna love it. There's something about the 3 of those flavors that just mix and it's just perfection, eh? Measured to see how much the celery would be like after it was chopped versus before it was chopped. I don't know if 2 cups and then chopped, or chopped 2 cups. Does it make a difference? Do you know what I'm saying? Like after I chop this, is it overflowing the 2 cups or is it underflowing? If I had thought about it sooner, I could have experimented in the name of science. If you know, let me know. If not, maybe I'll try it next time. Just to see. I do think this turkey dinner skillet, you could throw other veggies into if you wanted to. I don't think it's gonna hurt it at all. Like if you had any other leftover veggies, you could throw it in. go. Oh, there's no little piece. There we go. Lots of chopping. There are going to be lots of veggies this week, my friends. Okay, so there's some chopped celery, some chopped carrot. Got another little container there. I'm gonna close the vent on that one. And let's see, trim and cut 2 cups of green beans. Okay. Once again, we're gonna ish this because how close does it really have to be when we're talking vegetables? Say it's kind of the more the merrier. Does that look like 2 cups? I know it's more. We're going with it anyway. So I just lined up a bunch one way, just trimming off like the end that you wouldn't want to eat. And I don't think that there's anything wrong about it. Again, it's just a texture thing, right? And texture can mean a lot. So if you don't care about eating that end, you could, I don't see why you couldn't leave it on. I figure if it's something you like really couldn't eat, they'd probably take it off before they sold it to you. I could be so far off on that, but hey, that's what Google's for. Okay. So just trimming off the ends, and then I'm cutting them in half. And it's funny, just to like these things that feel so little and minute to do right now, when you get a look at doing them and it's 5 o'clock, 5:30, you're hangry, everybody else is hangry, and you've just like, your meter for the day is kind of full, you are gonna love yourself so much when you have this done. So meal prep is really, truly a love yourself later activity. Even if you don't feel the motivation at this moment of time, I want you, if you can, if you recall, just to think about how you feel later on this week, you know, like tomorrow, when you open up your fridge, you're going to put supper together, you know what you're making, and your stuff is prepped for it. I want you to think of how you're feeling at that very moment, okay? Okay, there we go. Got my green beans trimmed, ready to go. Now, the last one is that I am going to actually cut 5 cups of, I'm gonna cut 5 cups of veggies, just leftover veggies. If you have leftovers veggies from your meal, these 5 cups of leftovers, if you have 5 cups of leftover veggies, you're gonna use those for this instead. So once again, that's one less thing that you have to prep. Otherwise, we're just gonna chop 5 cups of random veggies, whatever it is that you have in your fridge, we're gonna chop it up and it's gonna go in the soup. So you really can't go wrong with it. It's a nice opportunity to use up some leftovers, either from your own Thanksgiving dinner, or just taking stock of the fridge, okay? So I have some leftover green beans from that bag of green beans that I bought. I'm just gonna trim those up too. And these are all going to go into that, slow cooker soup. So, you know, if you're putting anything into a soup, those flavors, they're just going to meld and go together. It's going to create some nice flavors. And since it's leftovers, I think this is going to be kind of a fun surprise soup because it's different every time, right? Who doesn't like a little variety? Oh, you know what? I'm going to cut these up a little bit more. I just realized I was cutting them up like I would have for the casserole, and I'm a little weird with these things sometimes. If it's going in my soup, I want it to be bite-sized. Sorry, I got something in my hair. It's very distracting. Okay. I'm a little easily distracted. So prep does not, this does not come naturally to me, but it's something that after I started doing it firsthand, I saw the benefits of, and I could see how it made my week better. Because since prep wasn't my thing, knowing what's for dinner wasn't my thing, and turns out knowing what's for dinner is actually like hugely awesome. Not 7 days a week, like some days it's nice to do something or plan to go out or whatever, but you don't want to be going out to dinner just because you're like, you know what, I can't be bothered to figure out what I'm making for dinner tonight, because that's not a good feeling. Going out for dinner should be something you feel good about, because goodness knows it costs a lot to go out for dinner, and if you're going to do it, it should be out of excitement and not out of despair. Let me know if you're feeling that way. I'm so used to just rough chopping. I'm just taking some leftovers. I had some leftovers from a bag of carrots in the fridge. Like, well, what am I gonna do with that? Throw it in the soup. Throw it in a soup. It's just, should be the answer to so many things. I call this turkey dinner leftover soup, but you know what? Could be any day of the week leftover soup. Clear out the fridge, leftover soup. Carrots actually smell delicious. All right, what else am I going to throw in there? Let's see. I think I'm going to do a sweet potato in there. So even just chopping your veggies makes such a huge difference for your week. Because taking out all these prep tools and then washing these prep tools every night, like the little bit of time it takes to do all the things, honestly, adds up. Trying to figure out how I want to cut these. I think I'm going to cut them in quarters. Quarters seems cool. We're going with that. I'm going to see, I think I have a couple extra Brussels sprouts too, so see if I can fit those in here. So, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So when I ordered my Brussels sprouts, I ordered by weight. Because I order my groceries. It doesn't only like save me time, which time is honestly like the most precious commodity we have. And I don't know about you, but I don't have enough time to get the things I want to or need to get done in a day. So if I can buy myself back a little bit of time, I am all over it. So even though ordering groceries for pickup is a paid service, I consider it absolutely worth its weight in gold. So there we go. 5 cups of random veggies, leftovers, or whatever is in your fridge. And that is another container good to go. So guys, I'm grabbing another sweet potato. What do you think of my pumpkin pants? You like those? Husband saw me, he's like, I want to poke you in the pumpkin. And I'm like, that sounded so dirty, but it wasn't. Sorry. Okay. So if you were just around for level 1, you have completed level 1. Congratulations. You rocked it. You're awesome. You're so far ahead of the week, and I'm super, super, super proud of you. I hope you enjoy everything. If you're level 2, stay with me. We're going to get even more done. We're going to we're going to get our sheet pan ready. We're going to get our sheet pan dinner all ready to go. So I'm going to start with a friend of mine, Jen Fiore, and she is just one of the most wonderful people you could ever hope to meet. And I wanted to try some of her recipes. So we are doing her sheet pan dinner, which just looked too easy, but also just like such a nice blend of flavors that I really wanted to try it out. So I'm excited for you to try it out with me. Calls for 1 sweet potato, but sweet potatoes are one of those things, like they're either giant or they're tiny. You know, sometimes you get those sweet potatoes that are like the size of your head, and then you get these ones. So since I had these ones, I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go with 2. I don't think you can really go wrong with any recipe when you just wing it a little for what you want, especially if it's something like measurements for veggies, right? If it's say measurements on seasonings and you're replacing teaspoons for tablespoons, you might want to, you know, slow your roll for just a second and decide if that's a good life choice. But I mean, something like this, I think it's pretty safe. So cutting this into 1-inch pieces. I'm not very good at inches or centimeters, none of them, but I'm gonna say that's maybe goodish. I'm gonna cut them in half. I think that'll look nice. Should I apologize to you now, Jen? I'm sorry. Now, if you guys like this one, she does have a cookbook that she sells that's called It Just Happens to Be Gluten-Free. So like many people, she became gluten-free and had to figure out how to adapt to it, and has tried to make it accessible and easy and delicious and just show all the good things that it can be. And I know you all know that this can be a good thing. So I cut up the sweet potato. I'm putting it in its own container. I'm going to put some water in there. That's going to keep it fresh for me. So I have the sweet potatoes just covered with water. Some places online will tell you not to store potatoes or sweet potatoes like this, and I don't like that kind of negativity in my life. I haven't died yet doing it, so it seems to work. Okay, next I am going to dice up 1 red onion. I'm gonna dump out my compost in first. Some people will save their scraps and make stock and things like that with it. I'm not one of these people. But I do compost, so there's that, right? Could be worse. I am not throwing it in the trash, and I feel good about that. Now, there are some things that I put on a list of things that it's like, someday I'd like to return to this and perhaps do a little better, be a little more crunchy about this. And making stock and broth is one of those things. But right now, just like the age my kids are at, and the fact that it's 3 of them, it's one of those things like it's survival mode. You do what you think is best, and so it says 1-inch dices. I'm just gonna, you know, kind of like a pizza. Once again, Jen, I am so sorry if I butcher your recipe. And then I'm just gonna cut them in half one way too. It's all gonna be different too, depending on what your onion looks like. And also how you translate 1-inch pieces. Like, is it 1 inch one way? Is it 1 inch the other way? I always wonder when I look at recipes. Okay, there's some onion chopped. Also gonna chop up, my goodness, oodle lolly. We're gonna slice 2 zucchinis, also into 1-inch pieces. Oodle lolly, golly, what a day. So I know this is all going in the same thing, so I'm just putting as much in the same container as I can. I like these containers because they'll stack in my fridge, so they make it quite convenient that way, but I'm just gonna pack that all in there. Okay, and I'm gonna keep on cutting my other zucchini, just gonna get a new thing to put in it. Here we go. So, all these prep ideas, this is what I'm looking at for my week, and I'm thinking, yeah, I can do that ahead. You might find even more. So I always recommend that you look through this meal plan and make adjustments where you need to. I'm also gonna chop a pepper to throw in here. Once again, 1-inch pieces. I really like, I appreciate this as somebody who likes all my stuff to match and all my textures to be kind. I like it when somebody recommends everything cut in the same kind of order, same kind of pieces. Otherwise it drives me nuts. Like, I can't have diced onion with sliced peppers or something like that. I look at it and my mind just, it melts. It melts, it really does. So, calling for 1-inch pieces for everything, like, ooh, love that uniformity. There we go. I love the look of that Sheetpan already. Such a nice bunch of veggies. Love me some good bunch of veggies. So, next I'm going to trim up some Brussels sprouts. This is gonna make the Sheetpan so easy because the only thing that takes any time for a Sheetpan is, you know, chopping the veggies. We already have that done. It's just gonna be like wham bam, thank you ma'am, and Sheetpan on my plate please. Like, that's magical. So I'm just cutting off the nasty end. You know, Brussels sprouts are one thing I never never ate growing up. But I heard that they used to taste different. I heard that, I don't know if it's a different variety that they use now, but I guess Brussels sprouts used to be a lot more bitter and rough or something like that. I don't know if it was like crossbreeding species, or I have no idea what happened. However, it appears that over time, Brussels sprouts have been engineered in some way to taste better. I don't mean genetically modified. I mean, I don't know if they are, but, oh, there's our turkey. Love a pressure cooker. Really, really, really do. I guess I should have warned I was releasing that. Sorry. Emmett, whenever I let that go, he yells out, "Fire, fire, fire." I think it's funny. I'm biased, I made him, but I think he's hilarious. There we go. Brussels sprouts, washed, trimmed, good to go. Now, I am also going to just make some very thin slices of red onion. You probably don't need a whole red onion, so if you wanted to just slice a little bit of it, you could. If you wanted to slice the whole thing of it, you also could. And then you have it available for something else that you're doing. Maybe at the same time as you're doing this, you're also prepping breakfast bites or something for the week. You might be getting like ahead on more things other than just your dinners. That's like next level awesome, good for you. But if you're doing that, then you can just slice off what you're going to need for sandwiches. And then either reserve the rest for something else, or use it to make your breakfast bites, omelets, whatever. The one thing I know is if I leave an onion that's like half sliced and half not in my fridge, I won't bother going in to do anything else with it. I'm gonna go in like another week, and then I'm going to throw it in the garbage. So odds are much better at me using it if I just process it now. That's what I know about myself. I don't know if you're any different that way. There we go. Got our red onion chopped. And that's it for level 2, guys. You did it. Now, if you're a real keener, like super prep mode, we can get ourselves ready. You've already got part of level 3 done if you cooked your turkey. So I'm just gonna grate a little cheese for later on in the week. This is to go in the burger bowls. However, if you are doing breakfast bites or something, you can grate up a little more to throw in those. Get your breakfast prep done at the same time. Hi, Kiss Kiss. And you know what, there's very little left of this. I think I might just kind of do the rest of it. Yeah, one thing that I've definitely learned through doing meal prep is never count on motivation to get anything done for you, because motivation is a fickle friend. A little discipline is good, and if I can force myself to do 5 minutes, just 5 minutes of something, I am way more likely to just do the thing, right? not sure if this is all gonna fit into the little prep container I chose for this. Didn't think that one through very well. I'm just gonna mush that on down and feed it to my kids when they come home in a few minutes. See, always get a backup plan. Okay, so there we go. Cheese is ready. One last thing that I do want. Why ain't you puffy? That turkey boob puffed right up. You know what? I want that cooked a little more, but I'm gonna do that in a minute. Okay, I also want to, it's only at like 135 in the middle, so I definitely want it cooked a little more. I might chop it a little first. I don't know. I need 5 cups of bread, cubed. Now, I'm not exactly sure how many pieces of bread that's gonna need. It's all gonna depend on what size your loaf is. I get President's Choice brand. You could also cube up 6 cups instead of 5 cups, and then if you want to, you could make some croutons for your burger bowl out of the other cup if you felt like it. You know, really throw a little extra prep in there, because you can make croutons now and they'll be fine for the week. So that's about 4 cups with the 5 slices of President's Choice bread. So it was not too far off for it being like about 1 slice for 1 cup-ish. So just so you don't take like, you know, a loaf of bread and start slicing it up and have like little gluten-free squares for weeks. Try with 1 small slice for a cup and then move on up from there. That's probably good, but for good measure, I'm gonna throw 1 more in. And the end. So you know what? I know myself, I'm not gonna use that end for anything else. That end is doomed. I like to tell myself that I'm going to make breadcrumbs with the ends of bread. Guess what I never make with the ends of bread? You would not believe how many ends of bread you can find in my freezer. Oh, speaking of freezers, at this point, if you want to look in your freezer, look in your fridge, see anything that needs to be used, see if you can incorporate it into any side dishes or into any of the meals this week, just as an extra add-in. Then you can process that now so that you can use that. That way it's not going to go to waste and you're going to save yourself money. You're going to get more nutrients and you're going to get all the things that you want to out of your groceries. So that's one thing that we definitely want to do with this, is make your stuff go further. So see what you have that needs to be used and make a plan for it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this week. I want to hear what you think. And I will see you next week, I hope, for another week of meal prep. Bye-bye.